we set up procedures, we set up work instructions, and we also put in, I'm going to use a mysterious word, for those of you that don't know it, it's called pokios. So basically, pokios are those mistake-proofing ideas or those mistake-proofing tools in the process. And the overall goal of these mistake-proofing ideas or pokios is to prevent the process from creating defects. Or, in some cases, they get so sophisticated that the process or the pokio that's put into place prevents the defect from ever occurring in the process or stops the process automatically to say, hey, wait a minute, we have an error, we have an issue, we need to stop the process, come address it so we're not creating any additional defects in the process. The control phase can be the most difficult, but it can also be the most easiest of all the phases. And I say that because sometimes as we're going through the process and we're going through the projects, we sometimes forget about our team members. And if their team members are bought in, and if they're the ones that are developing the improvements, and they're the ones that are actually implementing the controls, then the control phase is very easy. But it can be also very hard because of the fact that if we don't involve them, and then we're trying to implement controls, most times what will end up happening is they'll go along, and then they'll revert back to what they were doing before because they didn't get that buy-in. And so hopefully going forward, we'll be working on actually involving and encouraging and empowering our team members to help us to identify solutions and ultimately help identify controls in the particular process. So with that being said, I want to introduce Mr. Takele Dinka, who is from Trinity Watershed Management, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his project.
All right, thanks so much, Audi. My presentation is about improving data entry system. I'm glad that I'm looking after Connie. It seems like most of you are now awake. I would like to introduce my project team members. Myself, Sean Dutch, my technical manager. Ellen Tan, she's not here, but she's supervisor at Stormwater Management Division. And Joseph, who is my lab mentor. In the define phase, what my project is, we have industrial facility data that we collect from private companies, or we buy from them. And Stormwater Division enters those industrial facility data. They get an Excel sheet, very alphanumeric. It's incomplete. When I say incomplete, not only because of the company's, the seller's company fault, but we have also another data that we add into it. And these data are alphanumeric, it's different data type. When I say data type, sometimes it's in number or in text form and like that. All those things are going to be entered into our database. So in the past, has been entered manually. And what makes it worse is when they enter it, sometimes they get duplicate records which they have already in the database. So they have to manually check one by one record, which is about 15 or 20 fields or columns, and they have to make sure that that is not inside our database system. So they do this for 500 records. So checking for those per year, plus entering those data. And again, once they enter that data, they have to also add additional data. For example, they may enter the address and the nature of that facility, but they don't get the MAPSCO number for that. So they have to add from other source to that record. So all this kind of back and forth is going to create error, as you guys know. So the time is one challenge, and the quality is another challenge. So that's basically what this project was trying to improve, to save the time, to make sure that the data quality is better, and all the defects that associated with all these procedures are going to be improved. So basically, these are the procedures that they currently have. They get the data from the private companies. They check those records whether they are inside the system or not, and then they enter it, and then they add additional information associated with that record or industrial facility. It goes like that. So they do collect industrial facilities just FYI for stormwater management, for industrial facility inspections. In a way, at the end of the day, is to make sure that whatever the waste is coming from that industrial facility is not going to affect our stormwater. So it's part of the stormwater management plan. So as I said, this is a fishbone diagram that we used from the Keystone, and as I said, alphanumeric is one of the challenge, data type is one of the challenge, and it's incomplete record, this is another challenge. And of course, as I said, there are additional data that we have to add, like the map score number, GCP code, and other things. All these are going to contribute to the inefficiency of our time and the quality of data. As you guys know, the only thing that we can measure from here is the time. We can measure the quality. It's very hard to measure how bad the quality was or how good the quality is. So, in short, these are the issues, and then analyzing it, we checked with the stormwater division provider, and we came up with a better way of adding it, which is using a query, like we develop a query that checks automatically whether the data or the record that we bought from, that we buy from Debson Bradstreet company is already in the system or not. We can know for 500 records at the same time, and then we select those that haven't been in the database, and then automatically using queries, we enter them, and using geocoding, we add all those other features using GIS technologies. So all these additional records, identifying whether they exist or not, adding additional inputs, adjusting the data type, all those things can be done once for all records. In the past, they have to do just for one record at a time. So the amount of time it used to take in the past is about 113 hours for 500 records. So our target was 16. So basically, this is for 500 records. So based on this, we have improved the method of data entry system, starting from identification, data quality improvement, entering the data into the database system. And we have documented the new process, and we have tested it. It has worked, and we have developed a work instruction, which is about 30 pages, so that in my absence, anyone can do. And as I said, I want to say what we have learned during this process. I know this is somehow new, but I would like to thank the team of the Lean Six Sigma team, because they have helped us learn a lot about how to identify opportunities for improvement in various types of cases, the importance of documentation. During this time, it was not easy to get the data. So this is one of the lessons that I got, and importance of having a process map for our existing tasks. If you have that, it's easy to improve on it. If you don't have it documented, if you don't know how you do what you are doing, it's very tough. And of course, as I said, the challenge with getting data. And of course, I have a recommendation for my stormwater division people. We have to encourage our employees to document how we do what we do. And process mapping, as I said, data, and documentation are very important to do Lean Six Sigma project. Finally, I would like to apologize, as I said, Joseph, Ellen, Sean. Of course, I first started with them, so I have to give a credit as well. And I have to give a credit for DWU, because our division were under DWU when we started. So I took their quota to join. And at the same time, I would like to thank Trinity, Martin Chicago. Thanks. Thank you.